Hello everyone and welcome to Otto's full Veela Fighter build. And yeah, I'm also having the same build, but I'm playing this on lean and not on stout. But the full fighter is on stout. And for the full Veela Fighter, we also take the full Veela bloodline, of course. You could also make a full sheevra fighter, but more to that later. It depends on your preferences. The Alvarin is the fastest clade in the game, with one of the most, or if not the most, chance to survive in most situations. And this is simply because of the pure speed. The speed buffs ability to jump higher and even jump high with weapons drawn. Being able to use Alvarin's sight to know about encounters earlier in a dungeon is very helpful, and the Alvarins can use the Clade Mind Shield to get 25% less magic damage, and the Nayet buff to stay longer in water, if you plan your water escape route. And let's not forget the most important thing, that Alvarins are able to regenerate stamina while standing still a lot faster than everyone else. Many say that if you master to play an Alvarin, you are the king. But it's not so easy to master. But let's come to the build itself. A quick overview in terms of PvP. The full Veela Fighter is not recommended in the front line of the battle, because in comparison to a Thosar or Oghmium fighter, they are a lot squishier. In bigger battles, the build shines most when it's played in the kill zone behind the front line. Use it to punish enemies who are overextending into your own lines. Then chase them down and kill them. You are fast, and if you do your stamina management right, you will be able to change positions quick and help your backline in emergency situations or when the mages have problems in the backline. You are there for creating chaos for your enemies if you do it right. A good role to take in a fight with this build is also to flank the enemy, dividing into the enemy mages, disturbing them and even taking them down if you are good. But also be aware when the time has to come to retreat maybe, always keep some stamina to get out of dangerous situations. Notice that in almost any PvP encounter where no other fast Alvarin is on the enemy side, you will be able to reset the fight if you do it right. At least if your opponent are on foot, you can outsprint the enemy and heal up again, but only if you are managing your stamina very well. Or if you need a quick escape, take a swim, because you can hold your breath longer. Or maybe jump down a mountain or a cliff, because you will get 50% less falling damage. This gives you great options for escaping fights if they are too dangerous. So here's the spreadsheet of the character creation. The Mortal Data link is also in the description if you want directly this particular build, and then you can also switch some sliders if you want. But now to the actual creation. So let us give you two options to create your character in the beginning. Despite we are going to focus on the full Veela Fighter in this video, you could also make it a full sheevra fighter. If you want to have more attribute points and therefore more points to put into Psy or Intelligence, then take the sheevra route, because Psy gives you mana and magic resistance. So if you want to be a little bit more resilient against magic damage, then you could go for the full sheevra. But notice that you will sacrifice a little bit of your speed, as well as some melee damage and some strength for it. And with the full sheevra, for example, you will have the option to change it to a 1 mana bar paladin or maybe a hybrid later. For that, you would also have to get rid of the Psy and put it all into intelligence and sacrifice points from skills like heavy armor training, swimming, endurance, and put them into your magical skills. But see the paladin build for that. We made a paladin build for the humans, but this also works for sheevras for the skills. Okay, but now let's focus on the Veela Fighter build, because that is why we are here. So if you want to have the best Alvarin variant of the melee damage fighter in terms of damage, speed, and so on, then you choose the full Veela variant, like shown in the video, 31 years old. Why 31, you ask? That's a good question. The Alvarins have a Clade Gift to negate the negative impact of your age. So you are 31 and have the strength of a 31-year-old, but also are speedy as a 23-year-old. And for the weight of your character, we recommend to get this on stout. So at 129 in your character creation, you can change your weight later. You can also change your age later with alchemy in-game and stuff like that. So no problem there. And for the skills and the attribute points you set here in the character creation, no problem. You can change that in-game easily. So with your weight stout, you will gain 5 maximum strength over your fit character and also 10 HP over if you would play that on fit, but you're also a little bit slower than the fit character. You can also play this as a super beefy, overweight, extreme character that you have almost 200 HP. But the choice for that is yours and you can change that in-game, but we recommend stout. So your main focus is on strength, dexterity, constitution and the leftover points to Psy because of your magic resistance. So now to the whole skill list. We take aggressive stance 100 for the maximum meal damage, of course. Anatomy 100 to be able to heal yourself with bandages, of course. With your speed you can easily kite the enemies and heal yourself while running away, no problem. OP alert, Put 100 in archery, of course, because you need to shoot down horses. Or maybe you can land some hits before you get to the melee combat range. And always put away your bow if the enemy is nearby. Otherwise he will smash you into pieces. So now to sprinting, combat maneuvering, armor training, heavy armor training, all that on 100 to be able to wear heavy plate armor and sprint with that, of course. Without the use of trinkets, you should be able to wear light steel armor, Rizza soldier armor or Draconigena Amatus steel armor. Also a good mercenary plate with trinkets later on. Next is blocking. Everyone who is fighting in close combat needs blocking, otherwise you will get so much damage through your parries you are dead before even lifting your weapon. Defensive stance also on 100 to get less damage. More info about the defensive stance and aggressive stance is linked in the video description if you want to know that detail about that skill. Ecumenical spells on 30. Because you will have a small mana bar of 70, and with that 30 points you are able to purify yourself from fulminations, corruptions and other spells that will stick on you, and you're also able to corrupt others. Mind Blast will do, for example, 36 magic damage on any character that has a high enough difference between intelligence and strength. Or maybe you also need to purify a friend of yours that is beside you and are corrupted and can't shoot with his bow. And of course, an endurance, you will get 20 points of stamina out of that. And you will also have the skill passive regeneration that is under endurance, as well as the skill resistance swimming that is also under endurance for your quick escape swim. Talking about swimming, put 100 in survival. This is a parent skill to unlock the swimming skills. So with that skill, water will be your best friend and it will be a safe place for you. Unless some other Alvarin jumps in and yeah. But because of your high resistance swimming and you can hold your breath longer, you can also swim with your heavy armor and can more or less out-breath other people that are swimming behind you. And because of your Alvarin Clade Gift, you get out of the water, no one has stamina, but you regenerate stamina a lot faster than everyone else. And the last 100 points are going into your weapon of choice. In this example we took the sword skill. Any weapon is viable for you, but you won't have the points for pole axes or pole swords because that will need 200 points. So one side note here, riding is not in this build. But here comes the thing, riding is secondary, but only if you want to ride pretty fast and pretty less stamina intensive. Then you can skill controlled riding if you have some points left. You can also drop anatomy to 90 or 80, that is also very okay to get even more points out of that. It really depends on your personal preferences here. So now to some trinkets recommendations. So if you get rings and amulets and stuff, you maybe should get something with free armor weight that you can wear heavier armor like your opponents, like Thorsars and Oghmiums and stuff like that. You will never be able to wear the same armor as them, but you can grade up a little bit, then you can wear a really full steel armor. For example, a steel iron silk mercenary plate with some lighter boots, maybe some Tundremic knight boots would also work. Perfect would be if you would get an amulet for free armor weight, slashing, blunt and piercing defense, and maybe some skill points of your desire. Maybe creature control to control your horses better. And if you look into rings, you should get for raw strength, maybe some HP, maybe also maximum stamina. Notice, here one little tip, if you want to reach 13% damage bonus or get even higher, get yourself some grow food. You are able to gain 1 more centimeter height with a Veela, so you could reach 185 centimeters of height. And then you will also get 1% more damage bonus, and you can also go up to 100 strength if you want with enough trinkets and money. And last we will talk about Clade Gift. This is just a recommended order. You can skill that however you like, but I guess you will need these Clade Gifts. So very important is Long Life, so you will get the penalty points back. Next up is Resting Pulse for better stamina regeneration when standing still. That is also very needed. And after that, the Runner and Sprinter Glade Gift to pimp up your movement speed and stamina. Then also Runner's High that gives you a buff every 3 minutes to increase your stamina regeneration and speed. After that, the Alvarin Warcry, which makes you very speedy for 10 seconds. Useful to chase down enemies or quickly escape from dangerous situations. Then Athlete for +4 dexterity to unlock Aerialist, which reduces your fall damage for 50%, which is also a great lifesaver. And after that, the Combat Leap, which allows you to jump as high as you want with your weapon drawn. This can be very useful and can really save your ass if you are in the middle of a fight and you just jump up a rock, whatever. You jump on whatever and the other guy can't fucking hit you anymore. The next one is Stalker to unlock bow training, which gives you 3 points in archery. Then go for Resolved to get +4 Psy. And now the following depends on your personal preferences, what you want to take first or if you actually need it. In this example we go for the Naiad, which helps you lasting longer in water. After the Night Vision to unlock the Alvarin Sight, which gives you the ability to see through walls more or less and to see NPCs and other players. It's very useful in dungeons. After that you maybe should skill the Scholar or Vitalist to unlock the Mind Shield, which is also an active ability to get 25% less magic damage. That is awesome. And last but not least, Archer's Arm and Archer's Shoulder, which together give you the ability to draw bows that are 20 points higher than your maximum strength. Why we put it last? Because until you have that, you will be able to use the best short bows possible. They will make decent damage, are more stamina friendly, and you can draw them quicker. After you have skilled these Clade Gifts, you can also use very hardcore long bows, and you can burst down enemy horses. Yeah, horses, not houses. Did I say house or horse? Doesn't matter. So special thanks for Otto for making that build and also writing the script for the whole video. I also playing this build since beta and I edited some sentences. But holy shit, special thanks for that big rundown of that particular build. Because now we will have decent Veela Fighters out there. And also special thanks for all the supporters, of course. Carmel, Professor O, Slumif Gaming, Thibni, Lordless Guild, Frederick, Rhonus, Paarthurnax, Vinya, Cologne, Bulldog, Xunila, you and all the others, of course. So never forget to always make your Veela party hard. And see you all next time. Goodbye.